Ciao, and welcome back to America. What the heck? Our three topics for tonight are NATO attempting to stop human smuggling through the Aegean Sea, Pope Francis, his visit to Mexico, or as it's properly pronounced, Mexico, and the increase of police shootings that hasn't really been talked about recently. I've only actually found two articles on it, which is a little tearing, but that's coming up next. First off, NATO. So there has been an increase of human smuggling because of all the refugees trying to get out of the certain places in Syria and things like that. And people are taking advantage of that, and human smuggling is happening. And sometimes that leads to the sex trade, and that's not good. So NATO is trying to deter that. They're not entirely sure how they're going to, but they're trying. So, A+ for effort. Quote, this mission has literally come together in the last 20 hours, and I have been tasked now to go back and define the mission, General Breedlove said. We had some very rapid decision making, and now we have to go out and do some military work, end quote. Good for you, General. I applaud you for trying to do this. I do like that they're trying to deter this. The title of this entire article is literally, NATO will send ships to Aegean to deter human smuggling. Good. Good. But like I said, they're not entirely sure how they're going to do this. They were just like, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to send out ships. How are we going to enforce this? No clue, but we're going to send out ships. So, at least NATO has decided to do something about this, but they don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. So, yeah. Good luck. Alrighty. Pope Francis. Well, he has actually gone to Mexico. He's actually been there now for a couple days. And he is going during a time of political unrest. And there are some in there who are hoping that he will publicly denounce the president and hopefully cause some change, because he is the first Latin American pope. Everyone else has been from Europe. He's the first Latin American pope, and he is a beautiful person, and he's just wonderful. I have had many people who are not just Catholics, but Protestants and everyone who's like, he's a really good person. I understand why you want to follow the church. Yes. But Mexico, as we all know, is battling a lot of, well, to quote the title, Mexico battling many ills, end quote. Poor Mexico. You gotta think about the gun cartel, the drug cartels, all this, actually they're probably connected to each other, all these horrible things, the poverty that's in there, the corruption within the government itself. It's horrible. And, I'm pretty sure the Pope, he's not going to outwardly, oust the president saying, oh, I'm staying in your country, forget this, you're a bad person. He's not going to outwardly do this. He's going to give a symbolic message of this perhaps, but he's not going to stand up and go, no. I'm going to quote this. Exactly. Quote, but Francis is more likely to be far subtler. During his trip last July to South America, and on his subsequent trip to Cuba and the United States, Francis never directly criticized a national leader. Instead, he often used speeches, whether in Congress or before a group of social activists in Bolivia, to articulate his concerns about capitalism, climate change, or other issues, end quote. He is very diplomatic. He knows what to do. He's a beautiful person. Not just because he's essentially the perfect embodiment of a servant of Christ, but just because he knows what he's doing with this. And everyone in Mexico is probably beyond over the moon because he can come out and he can speak in Spanish. He can say the entire Mass in Spanish for them, which is beautiful. If you ever have gone to a Mass that's been spoken in Spanish, or a church service, whatever, in Spanish, oh, it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. If you're a small child, it's a little confusing, but if you go back when you're an adult, it's gorgeous. And singing in Spanish is gorgeous. But this is wonderful. However, to bring America back into this, guess who commented on the Pope's visit? Donald Trump. There's a small little thing right here. You know Trump's against immigration. He wants to build a wall, like a huge wall between America, the United States of America, and Mexico. Quote, this title: Trump criticizes Pope as very political over plan to visit migrants in Mexico. End quote. Trump, shut up. This is just awful. I don't like Trump. He needs to stop. He keeps proposing to build this wall and all these things, and he keeps saying that, oh, the Pope's only here because of the political aspects of this. No, he's not. The Pope literally sneaks out of the Vatican dressed in a regular priest outfit to go feed the poor and the homeless. Shush, Trump, shush. Goodness. Oh, Pope, I hope you are able to bring about some change just through your words and through your love and your description of Christ's love. Trump, shut up. America, what the heck? Why are we letting this guy... Well, okay, we didn't technically let him, but why are people voting for this horrible person? Donald Trump should... Why? I thought at first people were doing this as a joke, but now I'm getting a little worried that they're being serious. Because it's coming up close that he might actually get in. Okay. Away from that scary thought, onto a different scary thought. In the last, not the last 4 days, but in 4 days, 5 officers, 5 policemen, well, not just policemen, sheriff's deputies and policemen, were shot and killed. And I didn't hear about this. I did not hear about this until a friend of mine commented on it, saying, hey, could you put this up on your video? And I said, oh, sure, I could do this. This is the first I heard of it. This is the absolute first I've heard of this. Quote from CNN. I know CNN's not always reliable, but five U.S. law enforcement officers shot dead within days. End quote. Quote, in 4 days, 5 officers were killed in the line of duty in shootings around the country, more than doubling the number of officers who have died by gunfire this year. End quote. What? And this is the first we're hearing about this? We hear about... there was something in the newspaper about this one person, the one officer was finally convicted of this stairwell shooting, but nothing about this thing? Nothing about these poor officers being shot and killed? My friend is a sheriff's deputy, like in trainee to be, so I understand why he wanted me to bring this up. This is scary that these people have been shot and killed just like this. In the, I think it was in the Maryland one. Yeah, the Maryland one. These 2 officers went to a Panera Bread restaurant, and because there was some sort of disturbance, they were called in, and the gunman shot one of them in the head. Like they were trying to reason with him. No, he just shot him. And when the other officer, after chasing him for a long time, finally caught up to him, bang, killed again. Oh, goodness. It's off. It's just awful. And these poor men have served several years, like many years. Let's see which one. The first one, I believe. Yes, the first one had served 30 years, and the other one had served 16. This is sad. Remarkably sad and horrible. And there's one in Colorado who he survived this shooting until a few days later when he died of his injuries. And Fargo, North Dakota. Quote, Fargo police officer shot dead during home standoff, end quote. Oh my goodness. And I haven't heard anything about this. Yes, I'm not from South Dakota, or North Dakota either, but still. Oh, look, there's one in Georgia now, too. He was killed while serving a warrant. We need our police. We need our sheriff's deputies. We don't need to be going out and killing them. Oh, this one, that's sad. Quote, California deputy, civilian pilot killed in plane crash, end quote. This one wasn't a shooting. This is just that they died in the plane crash. That is sad. They're not quite sure what the cause of the crash was, but still. And it's under investigation, of course, but still, I haven't heard anything about this. Nothing. There's nothing in the newspapers. I haven't heard anything on the news, nothing on the radio. It's just been silence. And yes, I know there are some people out there who are like, oh, the police are corrupt. Oh, our jail systems are corrupt. No, that doesn't excuse you going out and killing these poor people who are trying to protect us, who are trying to protect your rights. Yes, in certain in certain counties and certain districts, you can't carry, or actually certain states, you can't carry a certain type of gun, or you can't carry a gun that's been licensed in a different state because reasons. But just because these people, they are not making the laws, killing them will not help influence the law to go on your side. It actually might influence the law to go against you, or against your views if you support whoever's doing these things. But these people, they're not making these laws. They're only enforcing them. So, if you've heard the saying, don't shoot the messenger? Don't shoot the messenger. The police officers are the messengers. These sheriff's deputies are the messengers. These law officers are messengers. They are not the people who are making these laws. And I'm not saying go out and go hurt the people who are making these laws. I'm saying don't hurt the people who are only enforcing them, because they don't really have a choice. This is their job. This is what they have sworn to do. This is their literally sworn duty. America, what the heck? Why are we so against the police? I don't understand this. The police are our friends. And I know there have been some corrupt police. There have been some incidents. Even on my campus, there was an incident of a police officer, or a campus police officer, hurting a girl sexually. But not all of them are that. There was just one bad apple. There's a couple bad apples. There's always going to be some bad apples in a group. But don't judge the entire barrel of apples based off of that one bad apple. America, what the heck? Alright, this concludes this episode of America, What the Heck. And I apologize, it's now almost 14 minutes, but that's what you get when you get me on a rant. So, good news and good night.